What if some of the most bone-chilling stories ever written found their way onto the big screen? Today, we're delving into the world of horror literature to unveil the top 10 horror movies based on books. From psychological thrillers to supernatural horrors, these adaptations are bound to keep you on the edge of your seat. Number 10. The Shining, 1980. Directed by Stanley Kubrick and based on Stephen King's novel, is a masterpiece of psychological horror. Set in the eerie isolation of the Overlook Hotel during the winter, the film follows Jack Torrance, a struggling writer portrayed brilliantly by Jack Nicholson, as he descends into madness influenced by malevolent supernatural forces. Kubrick's meticulous direction and haunting imagery, combined with King's gripping narrative, create an atmosphere of dread that lingers long after the credits roll. The Shining remains a landmark in horror cinema, celebrated for its iconic scenes, profound themes, and chilling exploration of the human psyche. Number 9. Psycho, 1960. Directed by Alfred Hitchcock and based on Robert Bloch's novel, revolutionized the horror genre with its psychological depth and shocking twists. The film follows Marion Crane, portrayed by Janet Leigh, who steals money and seeks refuge at the Bates Motel, run by the enigmatic Norman Bates, played memorably by Anthony Perkins. Hitchcock's masterful suspense-building techniques, coupled with Bernard Herrmann's iconic score, create an atmosphere of unease and tension throughout. Psycho subverts audience expectations with its infamous shower scene and explores themes of identity, obsession, and the duality of human nature, leaving an indelible mark on cinema history. Number 8. The Exorcist, 1973. Directed by William Friedkin and based on William Peter Blatty's novel, is a landmark in horror cinema, terrifying audiences with its tale of demonic possession. The film follows Regan MacNeil, a young girl played by Linda Blair, who becomes possessed by a malevolent entity, leading her mother, portrayed by Ellen Burstyn, to seek the help of two priests. Friedkin's visceral direction and groundbreaking special effects, combined with Blatty's chilling story, create an atmosphere of dread and terror. The Exorcist explores themes of faith, doubt, and the battle between good and evil, cementing its status as a horror classic. Number 7. Silence of the Lambs, 1991. Directed by Jonathan Demme and based on Thomas Harris's novel, is a gripping psychological thriller that transcends the horror genre. The film follows FBI trainee Clara Starling, portrayed by Jodie Foster, as she seeks the help of incarcerated cannibalistic serial killer Dr. Hannibal Lecter, brilliantly played by Anthony Hopkins, to catch another murderer, Buffalo Bill. Demme's intense direction, coupled with Foster and Hopkins' mesmerizing performances, creates a palpable sense of suspense and unease. Silence of the Lambs delves into the complexities of human psychology, obsession, and the bloodlines between good and evil, earning its place as a cinematic masterpiece. Number 6. Rosemary's Baby, 1968. Directed by Roman Polanski and based on Ira Levin's novel, is a chilling psychological horror that delves into the paranoia of impending motherhood. The film follows Rosemary Woodhouse, portrayed by Mia Farrow, as she becomes increasingly suspicious of her husband and neighbors' sinister intentions regarding her unborn child. Polanski's atmospheric direction, coupled with Farrow's vulnerable performance, creates a sense of escalating dread and isolation. Rosemary's Baby explores themes of paranoia, manipulation, and the horrors that lurk beneath seemingly idyllic facades, leaving a lasting impact on audiences and solidifying its status as a classic of the horror genre. Number 5. Pet Sematary, 2019. Directed by Kevin Kolsch and Dennis Widmyer, and based on Stephen King's novel, is a terrifying exploration of grief and the consequences of meddling with the natural order. The film follows the Creed family, who discover a burial ground with the power to bring the dead back to life. As tragedy strikes, they're tempted to use it, unleashing horrifying consequences. Kolsch and Widmyer deliver atmospheric dread, enhanced by King's macabre narrative. Pet Sematary delves into the darkest corners of human emotion, serving as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked grief and the allure of forbidden powers. Number 4. The Amityville Horror, 1979. Directed by Stuart Rosenberg and based on Jay Anson's novel, is a chilling tale of a family terrorized by supernatural forces in their new home. The film follows the Lutz family as they move into a house where a gruesome murder took place, only to experience increasingly terrifying paranormal phenomena. Rosenberg crafts a palpable atmosphere of dread, heightened by the eerie setting and unsettling events. The Amityville Horror taps into primal fears of the unknown and the vulnerability of familial bonds, cementing its status as a classic haunted house tale that continues to haunt audiences. Number 3. Let the Right One in 2008. Directed by Thomas Alfredson and based on John Ajvide Lindqvist's novel, is a hauntingly beautiful tale of friendship and darkness. Set in wintry Sweden, the film follows the unlikely bond between Oscar, a lonely young boy, and Ely, a mysterious girl who happens to be a vampire. Alfredson captures the poignant innocence of childhood amidst a backdrop of chilling violence and longing. Let the Right One transcends typical horror tropes, exploring themes of loneliness, love, and acceptance with subtlety and depth. It's a mesmerizing blend of atmospheric horror and heartfelt storytelling that lingers in the mind long after viewing. Number 2. Carrie, 1976. Directed by Brian De Palma and based on Stephen King's novel, is a timeless tale of teenage angst and supernatural revenge. The film follows Carrie White, a shy and bullied high school girl with telekinetic powers, who seeks vengeance after a humiliating prom night. De Palma expertly weaves suspense and horror with poignant social commentary, capturing the brutality of adolescence and the consequences of cruelty. Sissy Spacek's unforgettable portrayal of Carrie is both sympathetic and chilling, while the film's iconic prom scene remains etched in cinematic history. Carrie remains a powerful exploration of trauma, power, and the horrors of unchecked rage. Number 1. The Haunting, 1963. Directed by Robert Wise and based on Shirley Jackson's novel The Haunting of Hill House, is a quintessential haunted house tale that relies on psychological terror rather than gore. The film follows a group of people who stay in Hill House to investigate its paranormal activity. Wise masterfully builds suspense through atmospheric cinematography and subtle sound design, creating an unsettling sense of dread. The Haunting explores the fragility of the human mind and the power of suggestion, leaving viewers questioning what is real and what is imagined. Its influence on the horror genre is undeniable, cementing its status as a classic. As we conclude our journey through the darkest corners of literature turned cinema, which of these spine-tingling adaptations is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling content. Until next time, may your nightmares be only on the screen.